Alright guys, so it's time to whip out the Napoleon hat because we got a new game coming out and I'm super excited. I'm fairly excited only because, I hope it's good. So of course most of you guys know Company of Heroes 3 is coming out. Now, I'm a fan of Company of Heroes. I'm not like a hardcore fan. I've made some videos of Company of Heroes 2, and I think even 1. Did I make one? Anyways, I've made some videos, and I really enjoy doing the replays. I'm kind of like a replay guy. That's kind of my trick. I'm a one horse or one trick pony or whatever. You get what I'm saying? Where I cover replays and I enjoy the, getting the cinematic shots and just kind of shoutcasting in a way over the gameplay. And Company of Heroes is a great game to do that. I enjoy playing it too, of course. I was just never like really good. I was never even good. I was just maybe a little below average. Maybe even not even that. But I really enjoy the game and I really enjoy covering it. And I think when this game, comes out, I'm going to be all in. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys know I do not cover any of the newer Total Wars. It's just Total War, I don't really think about Total War other than what I'm playing now. So I'm not really covering their new games because I don't really like them personally. If you like them, that's awesome. It's not really what this video is about. But there's a lot of new games coming out that I'm really excited about that I think will fill that hole, that gap where Total War is now gone. But we got games like Age of Empires 4, we have Company of Heroes 3, we've got Manor Lords. There's many more real-time strategy games that I'm kind of drawing a blank on. But yeah, I'm Knights of Honor. I think that's going to be coming out. So yeah, I'm really excited because there's a lot of historical RTS games coming out that I think I will really enjoy covering and won't even think about Total War. So I'm really excited about that. In fact, it's made me so I've kind of feel like we've been in a little bit of a slump or drought, in terms of historical RTS games. And now it's spring is here, it's blooming. We got all these really interesting, really cool RTS games that I think I'm gonna be covering like crazy. So I even started a second channel just to kind of give myself an outlet to do other games because I'm kind of doing Total War over and over and over, and I just don't really want to do anything else. And like that you guys would want to watch, because in the other channel I'm doing all kinds of different games. I have a link to the other channel. It's a streaming channel mostly, but anyways, let's jump into the trailer. So what I'm going to do, we're going to talk about Company of Heroes 3, things that I hope for, things that things we can speculate, but yeah, let's just jump in the trailer, and I'm not going to do any commentary. I'll just play it, and then after we'll watch it together and I'll kind of add some comments and whatnot. So let's start it.
It was 1944. Our orders were to liberate the Italian city of Gaeta. Taking the beach was our first objective. Shells were raining down on us as we rushed toward the German fortifications. The German bunkers were overlooking the entire beach. And once we were in range, we hit them from both sides. Once the first bunker collapsed, the defense opened up. After securing the beach, we were told to take a nearby Flak 88. Blowing up the artillery was the only way we could hold our position. We accomplished our mission, but not without losses. And this long day had just begun. While we led the main front, they dropped in paratroopers to stop any German reinforcements. They never saw them coming.
Cut him down! Covering fire! Take out that target!
Caught in the open, they never stood a chance. The outskirts of the city were now ours. We set up a forward base, urgently building a triage center for the wounded. We rallied together and prepared for the final assault. We made our way toward the city square. They were expecting us, but we were one step ahead of them. Even with the help from the British, we knew this was going to be an uphill fight. German troops were gathered in the main square. We didn't expect that level of resistance. Under heavy fire, buildings collapsing around us, and for a while, they had the upper hand. But we kept on pushing. We managed to hold the position long enough for air support to arrive. The city was ours, but our fight in Italy had only just begun.
Alright guys, now we're going to watch the trailer together. Yes, the Napoleon hat is gone. I can't wear the headphones with the Napoleon hat. The headphones are too big. It doesn't fit. Anyways, so I just want to make this clear. This is speculation. I have no inside information on this game whatsoever. I didn't even know this game is coming out. So glad it is, because I mentioned many times how I would love a Company of Heroes 3 with kind of updated controls. And just kind of updated everything, graphics, gameplay, interface, that kind of stuff. And now it's here. And I also want to mention, I am no World War II expert, so I'm not going to be able to easily identify vehicles, uniforms, that kind of stuff. So if you see something really interesting, any kind of Easter eggs, or like, oh, they're doing this event, be sure to share down in the comments. But let's go ahead and start this bad boy and see what we got here. Early work in progress. All right, guys. So nothing here is set in stone. Look, you got the civilians. That's pretty cool. I don't know what I see here. This might be like French resistance. I don't know. I don't know if that would be actually a faction. But it would be cool to have a specialized like guerrilla French kind of resistance squad that you can play as. But yeah, at least that's what I see here. I could be completely wrong, but this is pretty base. This is pretty cool. I love seeing the civilians take the weapons and go to war. It's like almost a militia thing. So that's pretty interesting. Got some British troops, US troops, got some buildings falling. Company of Heroes 3.
It was 1944. Our orders were to liberate the Italian city of Gaeta.
Okay, so we got an Italian city. I mean, I wonder if the civilian is an Italian woman. I don't know. But again, my point still stands about the French resistant force. You know, that kind of thing. It would just be a cool add-on, maybe to like US forces or British forces or something. But yeah, this is a nice little beach landing. You got 1944, so it's late in the war. That's when the Americans showed up.
Taking the beach was our first objective.
Again, this is not D-Day.
As we rushed toward the German fortifications.
Look at those cowboys.
The German bunkers were overlooking the entire.
And right away, we're seeing like the familiar stuff that we've been seeing. We're seeing the MGs, we're seeing the mortars, even the gameplay. It feels very much like Company of Heroes. They still have that Company of Heroes charm, where it's a bit arcadey, it's a bit kind of over the top. A lot of like brute force charging, which is always fun to see. It's kind of what Company of Heroes is all about when you compare it to like, you know, Men of War or whatever. So yeah, so far it looks great. The gameplay, I mean, the way the troops move.
We hit them from both sides.
I mean, the graphics look, I'm not like amazed by the graphics, but it definitely looks better than, I mean, obviously than Company of Heroes 2. And this is actual gameplay footage, so this is not cinematic. At least I don't think
Fence
so.
opened up.
So that's pretty sweet. You got the flamethrower
secure
clearing
the
out the
beach.
bunkers.
We were told to take a nearby Flak 88.
All right, so it's almost like this is just a whole campaign. They've taken the beaches, and then now they're kind of showing off the Italians and Germans, which I hope they have the Italians in this game. Which I don't think there's been Italians in Company of Heroes. And that would be a nice addition. I would like to see like minor factions in this game. But we'll see. I mean, they could do a lot. Hopefully not some kind of gross DLC thing. Like, you know, I don't want them to be like, oh, you can play as the Finnish for $24.99 with this cool new, you know, like I would, you know, hopefully that's not the case, but it would be cool if you could play as Finland as a faction and maybe with the Germans. I mean, it wasn't like, yeah, you know, they fought off the Soviet Union. It would be a cool little, it was much earlier in the war, but it, you know, compared to the time period here, the 1944, but yeah, it would be really interesting to see. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make here, it'd be cool to see some minor factions.
Blowing up the artillery was the only way we could hold our position.
Looks beautiful. I love these uniforms. I love the grenade throws, just like, oh, the knife throw. Okay, hold on, let's check that out. Look at that knife throw.
We accomplished our mission.
That's so cool.
Not without
So he's got like these specialized like rangers or something, kind of going in and using knives. That's
losses.
pretty awesome.
And this long day had just begun.
All right, that's
While
like
we were at
chapter
the
2.
main front, they dropped in paratroopers to stop any German reinforcements. They never saw them coming.
Paratroopers set up an ambush. Oh,
Covering fire! Take out that target!
that looks
Out in the
nice.
open. They never stood a chance.
Now we didn't really get to see the paratroopers like land or anything, but that was pretty cool. Just kind of showing off the MGs, the importance of the high ground. They do watch Star Wars, which is awesome.
The outskirts of the city were now ours. We set up a forward base, urgently building a triage center for the wounded. We rallied together and prepared for the final assault.
So there's the base building. I mean, so far what I've seen, I haven't. It's kind of hard, right? When you do Company of Heroes and you always do the same historical setting, where you know it can be difficult to like bring any kind of uniqueness to it. It's like, what can you do new to add something to the game? And everything I see here, I mean, it looks familiar. Again, you also want to keep, it's that balance, right? Of like, it's a new game. You want it to be interesting. You want it to be, you know, bring something fresh and new, but you also want it to hold the same like Company of Heroes charm. You don't want to get too far away. Kind of like, for example, the difference between, this is kind of out of the blue, this comparison, but Halo Wars versus Halo Wars 2. Like Halo Wars 1 was just, it felt like Halo, and Halo Wars 2 is just like, it just didn't feel like Halo Wars, you know? It was fun, but it was kind of cartoony looking. Anyways, let's keep this going.
We rallied together and prepared.
But from what I see here, this definitely don't get a cartoony vibe.
We made our way toward the city square.
It's actually, look how beautiful the environments are here. Look at this. Italy is a gorgeous country. And look at the houses here, the flowers, the bunkers, the barrels. It all looks really good. Like the detail here does look really good. So there is clear, you know, view of, you know, much improved graphics.
Yes, but we were one step ahead of them.
Look at classic Company of Heroes right there. You see that? You got an MG just point blank, just unloading on these guys, and they're just kind of standing there. They do throw a grenade into the building, so that's, I don't know if that's kind of a pretty cool ability there. It's kind of like you stack up, you throw a
They were
grenade,
expecting us.
like stack
but
up,
we were one step
grenade
ahead
out.
of them.
That's pretty awesome. Then they go in, breach and
Without
clear.
the British,
Oh, here we go, the
they'll
Brits.
fight. German troops were gathered in the main square. We didn't expect that level of resistance. Under heavy fire, buildings collapsing around us.
Ooh.
While they had the upper hand. but we kept...
I am curious to see like the amount of destruction in these maps. You know, of course you could destroy buildings in Company of Heroes 2, but I just that looked really good, and just hopefully in these like really dense, you know, towns, cities, hopefully you kind of get to see a lot of destruction and some really cool. Look at that. That looks really good.
But we kept on pushing.
You know, it wasn't. I'm sorry. I'm kind of stuck on this building collapsing here. But it looks so good, and it's not like in other games you'll kind of like, even like Rome 2, but to be fair, Rome 2 is really old compared to obviously a brand new game. But watch the building just like, the detail of it collapsing. Oftentimes you'll see like some rubble and a lot of smoke, you know, and then the smoke clears and then you see what's left, and it's kind of like a cheat, you know, but this, it looks like straight up building collapsing. And you see every detail of it. That's, I don't know, it's a small thing, but it's pretty cool. Oh man, the chaos of Company of Heroes 2, or Company of Heroes the games, the series, the sparks, the rockets, the, you know, the grenades. You got the, it looks like you got anti-tank opening fire on the British tanks. You got the German tanks over here. The environments look amazing. This looks very like detailed and beautiful. I'm so glad it's in. I don't know if Italy's gonna be the main theater here, but it's so, I'm so glad, because I just love Italy.
We managed
the beauty of it, even though it's, we're destroying cities. All right. Oh my God! Look at that. Speaking, okay, and look, going back to look. That's the other thing that you don't see too often is partial structures of buildings collapsing. And I don't know if that legit, if this is a thing, but it falling on soldiers and killing them, like, that's pretty cool. I don't know if it did kill them. I'm kind of dissecting this, but we go back here again. If you notice, there's still, you can kind of see them there. They see them right there. They're still running, unless they missed the tower. I'll do normal speed. No, I think it killed like one or two. I don't know. It's hard to tell. The church being blown up.
Was ours, but our fight in Italy.
What is this? Do you see that? That like campaign map? That's interesting.
In Italy had only just.
To be fair, I don't play a lot of campaigns in Company of Heroes. I mostly play multiplayer. So maybe that's not new. Oh my God, look at this chaos. Look at that. Oh, that looks good. The destruction is what's really impressing me with this trailer. That destruction looks so good. It looks so good. Just look at the end here. Okay, I went a little too far. Just watch all the destruction. It's a very vivid, look at that. That looks so good. The flamethrower, I can't get over that. Look at this! The chaos. I don't know, I'm pretty excited. I definitely would like to become a good Company of Heroes player. You know, I would love that. And I probably will be playing this a lot, you know, if it's good. I think what I'm going to do now, guys, is probably upload like a Company of Heroes 2 video, maybe like, you know, once a week or something like that, kind of just to build up the hype for Company of Heroes 3. Do we know when this is coming out? Sega. Let's see. It doesn't say a time, but I know they're like giving out like copies of the game where people can test out the pre like beta, pre-alpha gameplay. So maybe it's pretty close. I don't really know. I am noticing the same thing with like Age of Empires 4. They're very much like they're asking the community a lot what, you know, not advice, but like thoughts and opinions, and you know what they want to see in a new Age of Empires game and that kind of stuff. So I think that potentially, you know, maybe that's the same thing happening here. They're going to give out a lot of early copies of the game, kind of like these pre-build early copies, so people can play and kind of share their opinion and what they would like to see improved, or what they, you know, what they like that's new, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Tell me how you feel about the Company of Heroes 3 trailer here, and if you're excited for the game, if you're not, something you saw in the trailer that you're something, you know, something that's really exciting to you, or maybe it's something you're not excited, you're concerned about. Again, this is a work in progress, so it's not like it's set in stone. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for me, guys. I'm super stoked for this. I'm excited for Age of Empires 4. That's another game I really want to dive into, get decent at the game. I don't think I'll ever be good at Age of Empires because the micro is just too intense for me, but it's still fun. And then of course Manor Lords. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, like the video if you enjoyed, and I will see you next time on the battlefield.